following is a presentation of the PAC Sports Network.
Your ball game. The St. Vincent Bearcats do it back to back. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Chatham University in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Tonight on the PAC Sports Network, the Chatham Cougars host the Westminster Titans. I'm Randy Gore, along with Nate Rigotti. Thanks for being with us tonight. Also, our producer, David Keeling, and our cameraman, John DeBruzzo, with you on the PAC Sports Network. An exciting time for us is it's our tip-off, our broadcast opener of the PAC schedule, and it's also the conference opener for the Westminster Titans. And so we're getting it all started here tonight.
Well, thanks for having me along, Randy, for the season. And Chatham had a little advantage opening up the PAC schedule a little bit earlier than everybody else, with St. Vincent getting whomped by the Bearcats in that game. But yeah, opening night across the conference for a lot of teams, and including our broadcast right here.
Well, maybe an advantage in getting started, but I'm sure Coach Sandy Rechtenwald would argue otherwise. As you said, a tough loss, a big loss as it turned out for the Chatham Cougars against the St. Vincent Bearcats. But this is a Chatham team already with 2 wins under their belt this season. 2-4 overall mark despite the 0-1 conference record. And the conference schedule, Coach Rechtenwald had talked with us about. She was able to construct it in a way that she was able to collect more winnable games or more competitive opponents to go up against. And really the objective in that is to provide some winnable games where if you can get that winning feeling early on in the season, especially for a program that has really struggled over the past 3-4 years, if you can get that winning feeling, she's hoping that winning early will breed winning along the way.
Yeah, it's all about momentum and confidence, and you can't blame her for wanting to get the ball rolling here with the Chatham Cougars. A year ago, their first win came December 7th. That was win of 3 total. And now already 2 wins under the belt. We haven't even reached that mark yet in the season.
The Westminster Titans are without a win to this point, 0-3, all non-conference games, in a very young group, 8 freshmen and 2 in the starting lineup. And talked with Coach Roseanne Scott about her team, but it's what she wanted to see out of this young crop here tonight. And she said, I want to see some defense. Obviously, defense has been lacking in the first 3 games, but certainly with a young team still developing chemistry, and that's something that really she pointed to as well. This group is still developing that chemistry and really hoping that maybe a win tonight here in conference play might get that winning feeling here for the Titans as well, especially with such a young group with two starting freshmen and also a starting sophomore.
Yeah, you lose 2 big players from last season, Courtney Zitt and Gabby Holko, a couple of all-PAC team members. So that's big for this Westminster team to come around a young group and get started early. This is a season ago, a playoff team. Not just any playoff team, a hosting playoff team, finished in the 4 seed. So for Westminster to come out without a win in the first 3 games, something has to happen tonight for the Titans.
Well, we're going to take a break here in the pregame show on the PAC Sports Network, and we'll come back and talk a little bit more about this matchup and also a special event tonight, not just here, but also conference-wide. We'll come back in a minute on the PAC Sports Network.
Tri-County Patriots for Independent Living is raising funds for renovation and new construction of the YWCA building on West Maiden Street in Washington. Triple is a membership organization of people with disabilities and their families, friends, and neighbors. Triple's vision is to embrace the Y's historic, uplifting character while creating a state-of-the-art, fully accessible community center. We are accepting various types of donations for the rehabilitation of the Y. Visit ywca.triple.com or call 724-223-5115 for more information.
So who do you think you are? Walk through these gates and you'll find out. It'll take, 4 years. 4 years of rigorous academics, of grand tradition, citizenship, of making friends for life, and let's not forget, having fun. While you're doing all this, we have a job too, to ensure your success. And make no mistake, we're good at it. Welcome to Bethany, a small college of national distinction.
Welcome back to Chatham University in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, as the Westminster Titans visit the Chatham Cougars here tonight. And as both teams gear up for the starting lineups to be introduced, also the national anthem here from Chatham. Both teams wearing special warm-up shirts tonight, and some of which you can maybe still see from some of the groups near the benches, but supporting Lauren Hill. Lauren Hill, many folks, I'm sure, are familiar with at this point with her struggle with a non-operative brain tumor, and it really has touched many across the nation, especially those in women's basketball. Lauren Hill wanted to play college basketball, and she played, was able to play one game at the Division III level over at St. Joseph's College in Cincinnati, Ohio, in that area, and it's really she's a very very brave young lady in what she's been able to do, and that's something that everyone across the PAC is supporting tonight. Is everyone, not just these two teams here this evening, Chatham and Westminster, but everyone conference-wide wearing special warm-up shirts in her support.
Yeah, and you always like to see that when anything that can unify a conference and bring these teams together. And Coach Rechtenwald was very up to speed on the Lauren Hill situation, and able to raise a lot of money at Chatham, one of the schools that donated a jersey to the cause that teams could auction or bid, or people could bid on. So glad that Chatham supported that cause. A couple of our other conference schools as well.
And when Mount St. Joseph's played their opener against Hiram, it was a packed house. Xavier University donating their facility, if you will, and there were 300 schools across the nation that donated number 22 jerseys, and Chatham and Waynesburg in the PAC were of those. And our national anthem here at Chatham University. National anthem here from Chatham University, and just to continue the thought as we were speaking of with Lauren Hill and the support she has received. The warm-up shorts, the warm-up shirts rather, that the schools are wearing tonight, they have the logo or the saying "The cure starts now," which has been the motto of the of Lauren Hill. And again, a very courageous young lady playing college basketball at Mount St. Joseph's College. And news coming out that Lauren Hill's family on Monday signed her up for hospice care. So obviously she continues her fight. Doctors, the prognosis is not good. The doctors are not giving her really past Christmas Day, and that's it's obviously a very sad ordeal that she's going through, but she has received a lot of support, and she's also courageous in the fact that raising support and also raising awareness, and that really has been the key thing for her.
Yeah, I mean, you never want to see anybody go through that battle, and when you do, it's always tough. Whether you're a family member or a friend, anybody that has to go through that, you feel badly for her, and your heart hurts. And the 0% survival rate for this type of cancer is even tough, so even tougher. It's just a difficult situation, but great that people around the nation can come around from D3 to D1 and all support one cause. It's just fantastic to see.
Well, Nate, I saw you were able to jot down the starting lineup, so I'll let you go ahead and take care of that business.
All right, for Westminster, Rachel Durbin starting off, the sophomore. Christine Fromnet starting as well. Paige Quinn, Allison Bortz, and Andrea Marsh all starting for the Titans. For the Cougars, it's Megan Seg, Rachel McLean, Anna Sashura, Jessica Manfredi, and Becky Rowe.
Chatham Cougars on the court, ready to go. The Westminster Titans now will join them after a brief huddle. The Cougars in the home whites and the Titans donning their navy blue uniform tops and black numerals and lettering with white trim for those folks watching this one on pacstream.net. And the broadcast opener and conference play, we're underway on the PAC Sports Network. The opening tap won by the Chatham Cougars. Glad to have you along. Again, I'm Randy Gore along with Nate Rigotti, David Keeling, our producer, and John DeBruzzo, our cameraman here tonight, as Chatham working the offense on the opening possession of the evening. Rachel McLean from the right side, top of the key, Manfredi. Manfredi fakes a couple of passes left, 3 on the shot clock. 3-point try put up by Rowe, no good. Rebound goes to Rachel Durbin and the Titans. Pass of the right quarter off the fingertips of Fromneck and out of bounds. Turnover to the Cougars.
Just a bad pass, goes a little bit off from where Fromnet wanted it.
Last season, Westminster, as you mentioned, Nate, posting a winning record, 12-6 in league play, 15-12 overall, but a young team this year. Foul call.
Yeah, just looking up and down the starting lineup for Westminster, just one senior, and that's Allison Bortz. 2 freshmen in the starting lineup, a junior and a sophomore.
Foul on Fromneck, one of those freshmen. And one of the graduating seniors from last year's playoff team, Courtney Zitt, now a volunteer assistant coach with the Westminster Titans, and hoping that might be something that she may be able to continue on in the future.
She was so tough when she played here, and now to see her coaching, she's got a great basketball mind.
Most recent foul charged to Paige Quinn as a layup attempt by McLean, no good, high off the glass. Westminster coming the other way. Paige Quinn, freshman out of Shaler High School, was very good with the Titans last season. A playoff qualifier out of Section 3 in Class Quad A. Pass off the hands of Fromneck. Here come the Cougars the other way, looking for the first points of the night, but off the backboard and in front of the rim. Megan Sieg missing on that last attempt.
Great jump stop there. She just didn't get the hand on the ball where she wanted it. She pushed it from the side.
Pass left side, low blocks. Fromneck kicks it out, wide open for 3. Off the front of the rim, short on the shot was Quinn. Board go to the Cougars. And a double dribble on the Cougars will give possession right back to Westminster. Still scoreless here within the first 2 minutes of the game.
Great circulation, though, from Chatham so far. Great passing on this side of the court.
Ball administered into play by Andrea Marsh. Marsh, who missed a sizable amount of last season due to a stress fracture in her hip, and reacclimating herself to the game. Nice spin move, right side layup attempt for Fromneck. Gets her own board, though, after the miss. Now scrapping down low, open for 3 again is Quinn. Head fake, though, will drive the lane. Wild off the glass, rebound goes to Rowe. Becky Rowe with a long pass up the floor to Sieg. Sieg with the layup, and Chatham on the board. First points of the night for either team.
Good fast break there, Sieg finishing it off.
Chatham with the press. Layup attempt no good for Rachel Durbin. And The ball will go back to the Cougars. A foul on Westminster upon the rebound. So just one bucket to this point. Three-point try for McLean off the mark. McLean, who holds the single-game record for three-pointers here at Chatham, almost with a steal there, but she is charged with a foul instead.
Yeah, she's not afraid to shoot the three at all. 9 for 32 so far in this young season.
28% from beyond the arc, but yeah, she put up 9 against Geneva last year right here on the PAC Sports Network. Was a remarkable game. I saw her earlier on. She was taking her warm-up shots before Westminster had even arrived, and I said, "You going to score another 9 or put up another 9 three-pointers tonight?" She said, "That would be nice." But certainly can't count on that every night. But a point-blank range miss by Fromnecht, and another defensive rebound goes to the Cougars. That's something that Sandy Rechtenwald talked about with us pregame, is that rebounding would be a key tonight. Layup missed by Manfredi. Ball out of bounds, but rebounding with two teams that are so similar statistically going to be a key, and Coach Roseanne Scott also echoed that the defense and rebounding would be a key portion of tonight's game.
And Coach Wechtenwald really said she was worried about offensive rebounding, and for a good reason. Westminster in the first 3 games averaged 19 offensive rebounds compared to Chatham, averaged just 8.
Becky Rowe loses the handle, but the ball comes free to Anna Shashura, but misses the point blank attempt. And it's still 2-0 Chatham here, as we're 3.5 in. Andrea Marsh from the top of the key, trying to cross over, goes left side, passes off to Fromnecht. Good passing here for Westminster on the offensive possession, but a shot off the underside of the rim, but the rebound and put back for Rachel Durbin, and we're tied up.
Yeah, that's those offensive rebounds we were talking about right there, Randy.
Rachel McLean comes free and gives the Cougars the lead right back. And a timeout called by the Westminster Titans after the make by Westminster. Chatham easily breaking the press for the points. 4-2 the score. We'll be right back on the PAC Sports Network.
When you're seriously in debt, you know that feeling. It returns every time the phone rings. Things are out of control. A job you were counting on didn't come through, or you got sick. No matter how it got to this point, your creditors don't care or understand, but I do. It's not too late. I can help. If you're embarrassed, overwhelmed, or frustrated, don't be. I'm not here to judge. I'm here to help, and you do need help. Please call me. There is a way out, and I'll get you there.
Welcome back to Chatham University as the Cougars lead it 4-2 over the Westminster Titans. And stay tuned for the halftime show brought to you by Triple, Tri-County Patriots for Independent Living. Today at the half, we have a special one-on-one interview with Chatham head coach Sandy Rechtenwald and also with junior guard Rachel McLean. Again, that coming up at the half, our Triple halftime show. Back underway out of the Westminster timeout. And Durbin almost up and down, but able to pass it off from the right side. Andrea Marsh surveys. Bounce pass in the paint. Turnaround shot off the glass and good for Allison Bortz, who's been so strong for the Titans here in the early going.
And neither of these teams have somebody that's overwhelmingly big inside the key. And right there, Bortz is one of the biggest. That's all you're going to get. She's not that tall, but she can play well underneath. She's strong.
And Freddie with a miss from three-point land, and Titans quickly up the floor, tipped out of bounds off of Andrea Marsh. So Chatham will take it over. We're tied 4-4. Now the Cougars, up until January, will be without Emily Schmidt, a 6'3" senior. That's a lot of height that's not available, but she is not available because she's on an overseas trip, school-related. So all for a good reason, not an injury or anything like that. But when you don't have a 6'3" player guarding other individuals like Allison Bortz, who comes up with a rebound, but only for a moment. Scrappy play there by McLean for the steal. And certainly makes that a difficult proposition when you don't have that kind of height.
And that's tough. Got to overcome that, though. Just play. Everybody has to fill that role, and that's what a team's about. People that can come together and fill when you're missing one of those big-time players.
Three-point hit from the left side quarter for Nikki Engel. And the Cougars retake the lead by 3. Timeout. And we'll pause for a timeout as well. We'll be back on the PAC Sports Network.
Fully co-ed, Chatham University offers over 40 majors in the health sciences, sustainability, business, and the arts and sciences. Qualified undergraduates can also be admitted into our integrated undergraduate and graduate programs in physical and occupational therapy, physician assistant studies, and more. Live on our historic Shadyside campus or our Eden Hall campus, the first in the world built for the study of sustainability. Strong academics, Division III men's and women's sports, one-of-a-kind campus locations. Chatham.edu.
7-4, Chatham leading. As you get a look there of Sandy Rechtenwald, and some damp situation here taken care of on the hardwood. But the Westminster Titans out of the Chatham timeout will begin with the basketball. Cougars strong early. 3-point connect by Nikki Engel has the Cougars in front. Swing it around to the right quarter. The Westminster Titans, right side low blocks. Good spin move. Left-handed try will fall off the rim for Jessie Hinkle. Or excuse me, make that Jenna Grandy, rather. One of the few seniors on this Westminster team. But a regular off the bench, Jenna Grandy. Also another senior, Courtney Klein, who you would expect to see quite a bit from. She's in a walking boot right now, an ankle injury. So we won't be seeing her tonight, and hoping that the prognosis is better than what it might be. But there's another 3-point hit for Nikki Engel, and Chatham raises the lead to 6.
Well, coming to the ball game, Engel was 4 for 8 from beyond the arc. She has 2 tonight now.
Breaking the press, the Titans. 2-on-1. Pass kind of falling off the hand of Fromneck. And then Bortz going right back to Fromneck, but a foul before that.
Just a solid press break there by Westminster, getting the ball up the court. Do have a final for you, Randy, in PAC play. Geneva tops Teal 71-58.
So first final in the books tonight on the first night of full PAC play. There's a lane for Kylie Cook, another strong freshman out of Mount Lebanon High School. And anytime you get a player from Mount Lebanon, you have one of the most well-schooled athletes that you'll find coming out of the high school level.
That's a great program.
Kylie Cook with a bucket, and there's a steal by the Titans. Fromneck leads the floor, pass ahead to Caitlin Krug. Krug, a freshman point guard in the game, typically whenever Paige Quinn is not on the floor, but right now both guards on the hardwood. High shot off the glass and off the mark. Rebound McLean. Here come the Cougars. Ball tipped by Bortz. Nice save on the back end. Ball to Paige Quinn. Quinn lobs one ahead to Fromneck. Fromneck chased from behind by McLean. Good hustle, and the ball caroms off the knee of Fromneck and out of bounds. And there's that hustle, turning the ball over, courtesy of Rachel McLean.
Yeah, it's just a scrappy play right there. Come from behind, try to swat the ball away, avoid the easy points, and she does. And not only does she swat the ball away, she gets possession back for Chatham.
4-point lead for the Cougars, and with the basketball, Engel double dribble. It was right there in the wide open. She disagrees, but
she's not happy about it, but nothing you can do but put your head down and say, okay.
So Andrea Marsh will trigger as Krug hollers out some instructions for her mates. And Coach Roseanne Scott, who's typically very animated on the bench area, satisfied with the early play. I mean, just 3 games in, now the 4th of the season by her freshman guards. And they're only going to get better from here at the collegiate level. There's Krug for 3, knocks it down, 1-point game.
First 3-pointer of the season for Krug.
Very good from the free throw line is Krug, but that time from beyond the arc. Up and under, no good for Sieg. Board goes to the Titans. Andrea Marsh up ahead. Into the forecourt, it's Krug in some space, fires a pass in, tipped by Kovalsic and out of bounds.
Well, Kovalsic's playing pretty tough too. She was going up against Bortz before. Now that time she's defending another player underneath the key, and she's just doing a great job there, being tough.
Oh, we asked Sandy Rechtenwald how she would combat some of the post players, not just tonight, but in the conference, without Emily Schmidt in the lineup. And she said, well, really what we're trying to do is, there's a miss down low by the Titans, but what we're trying to do is put our more physical players, not necessarily the taller players, but our more physical players on those post opponents, and that's what she was able to do there with Kovalsic, and just moments ago, a lay-in by Rachel McLean. So McLean with 4 points, and it's a 3-point lead. Nice steal by Manfredi.
Not a great pass. Cross court like that to the corner in the air usually ends up in a turnover.
Sieg from the right side takes a pass in, and good dribble penetration, and the teardrop falls in. 5-point lead for the Cougars.
Right up over top of Marsh there, too.
Well, last year, while Westminster swept the Cougars, Chatham took Westminster to the limit here on their own home floor. And right now leading by 5. Right-handed hook hard off the backboard from Jenna Grandy.
Chatham's only beaten Westminster twice in school history.
3-pointer by Rachel McLean as she starts to crank it up. 7 points already tonight, and a hard pass off the hands of Durbin, and another theft by the Chatham Cougars, leading by 8 and looking for more. Hard foul down low, although the whistle actually came before the more physical collision occurred.
I think part of that is they're just trying to get out of the way. As Krug reached in a little bit, gets caught with the hand check, and people trying to check up, and everybody just collides. There's the whistle blows.
A good show of sportsmanship as well, helping McLean back up to her feet. And an 8-point lead right now for the Cougars, nearing the 10-minute mark of the first half. Glad to have you with us tonight on the PAC Sports Network, our broadcast opener. We'll have continued PAC action again on Saturday. Grove City visiting Waynesburg for a doubleheader. McLean goes left side, 7 on the shot clock, and the bucket knocked down by Anna Shishura.
Right now, it's just Chatham shooting well. They struggled early on, but now coming alive here.
And the press seems to be frazzling the Titans a little bit. High attempt off the backboard by Toy Cook, but Toy Brown gets her own rebound, and the putback is true. 8-point lead for Chatham. Toy Brown, the 5'10 sophomore in the game. Becky Rowe out of Blackhawk High School passes left side to McLean. Again, we'll talk with McLean at the half, along with Chatham head coach Sandy Rechtenwald. 3-pointer by Rowe. No good off the back of the iron. Rowe, another player who can knock down the triple. And off the mark on that last attempt. Paige Quinn goes left side to Fromneck. Fromneck surveys, drives left side of the lane, and nice touch on that one. And it's 19-13.
Just enough to kiss it off the glass. Right in the face of Becky Rowe there.
Fromneck, who averages 7.7 points per game out of Erie McDowell High School. Timeout on the floor. We'll pause as well. We'll be right back on the PAC Sports Network.
When you are in need of fast, affordable, and professional voiceovers, contact TimeAd Productions. TimeAd Productions offers voice services for business presentations, documentary narrations, radio, television, imaging, and commercials, movie trailers, corporate phone systems, websites, audiobooks, and more. Visit or contact us online at www.timeadproductions.com.
Whether you're a traditional college-bound student, busy adult, or an advanced degree seeker, Geneva College offers degree programs tailored to your professional goals and personal commitments. Online or on campus, you'll enjoy personalized attention and a supportive Christian community of inspiring scholarship. Complete your degree in business, engineering, education, counseling, or one of 50 other programs. Geneva College. Step forward, leap ahead. Head to geneva.edu to get started.
Chatham by 6 here in the first half. Chatham using a full timeout. 2 expended by the Cougars, 1 by the Titans at this point. And Nate Regatta, you have another final.
The Beast rolls. Thomas More, 89. Waynesburg, 68. That one being played down in Greene County.
We talked with Sam Jones yesterday ahead of our broadcast this Saturday at Waynesburg, and he said nothing like starting out with the King to begin the season, the conference schedule. So obviously it went the King's way, so to speak, with the Thomas More Saints claiming the win tonight. Chatham out of the timeout, shot just before the buzzer by Kovalsic, was off the rim. But the rebound to the Titans anyway.
And I know it's only basically opening night here for PAC play, but I think undoubtedly you have to go through Thomas More for the title.
They're the clear favorites, 8-time PAC champions, 8 consecutive PAC titles. So that is an amazing run. And again, they're the favorites, ranked 3rd in the nation. So they're the kings of the hill, and everyone else in the conference trying to dethrone them.
Sydney Moss from Thomas More named to the D3Hoops.com Team of the Week.
PAC Player of the Week again for the 2nd straight week as well. Shot with 7 seconds on the shot clock, drops in, plus the foul. Count it for Morgan Highbump.
Sashora, who gets a piece of her there for the foul.
Highbach, 5'4" sophomore. Hails from Corey, PA. Played at Corey High School and completes the 3-point play. It's a 3-point game favoring Chatham. Megan Sieg, the freshman. Speaking of all the freshmen on the floor, how about Chatham's freshman, Megan Sieg? She has 6 tonight, averages 12.5 points per game. Very talented soccer player, scored 12 goals to lead the Cougars soccer team this year. 3-point attempt by Quinn, no good. Fight for the rebound, goes to Fromneck. She's fouled hard. Sieg in the area along with Becky Rowe, but it's Sieg who will be charged.
I mean, what an excellent effort there by Christine Fromneck. Just fantastically going back and fighting for that rebound. She doesn't finish off the play, but she gets 2 free ones from the stripe.
First free throw, rattles out. Fromneck early in the season, 5 for 12 now from the charity stripe. Second attempt does fall through.
Fromneck averaging 8 points a game in the early season.
And Freddie to Sieg out of the left side. Finds Rachel McLean, who knifes through the defense, but the layup won't drop off the glass. 21-17 our score here, favoring Chatham. Ball out of bounds off of the Cougars. Hustling defense, though.
Another final for you, Randy. W&J defeats Grove City 51-40.
W&J, we're talking about Thomas More, was the presidents that went to the title game 2 years in a row against Thomas More, hoping maybe that the 3rd time, that this year might be the charm. McLean fouled hard as she goes down to the floor, sliding near the water fountains here at the Chatham University Gymnasium. She is helped back up to her feet. She'll limp to the foul line. She is okay, as Coach Roseanne Scott with some words for one of our officials.
Jenna Grandy not happy with the call. Neither is Coach Scott. Thought she got all ball on that one, got the fingertips to block.
Rachel McLean sinks the first, already with 8 tonight. She averages 13 points per game, the leading scorer for the Cougars. Second free throw also true. 9 points now for McLean as the Cougars bring the press, as they have all game long, and pass tipped by Sieg, but makes its way to the intended target, Jenna Grandy. Grandy finds some space, and now wide open for 3 right wing. Back of the iron, Paige Quinn. Ball tipped out of bounds by Toy Brown.
Good find there, Quinn in the corner, but couldn't find the basket.
Quinn's had a couple of those open looks, has not been able to sink them, however. McLean will gather some rest, as will Fromneck for the Titans. So both on the bench for the time being. And Freddie left side to Engel. Engel with a couple of threes shot off the underside of the backboard. And now it's Highbach leading Finds Grandy open for three. Front of the rim. Rebound Quinn. And her shot blocked, but a foul coming on the backside of that. And Megan Sieg will be charged yet again.
Yeah, big old hack there from Megan Sieg. No denying that one.
And Sieg knew it as soon as the whistle came, as she looked toward the rafters. Paige Quinn in a near silent gymnasium hits the first free throw. And as we talked about, one of 8 freshmen for the Westminster Titans and one of 2 in the starting lineup in regularity for Roseanne Scott's group. Roseanne Scott in her 13th year leading the Westminster Titans. Paige Quinn hits the second.
Yeah, Scott's had some success here at Westminster. A pair of PAC championships back in the mid-2000s, 05 and 07.
Crossover from the top of the key area by Eastman. For three, Manfredi bounces around, falls out. McLean had the ball on her fingertips, but as it pinballs around, ultimately taken away by Jenna Grandy. Eibach slithers through defenders, now in some trouble, and she travels.
She was trying a great job there to elude some defenders and slice through the fence, but she tries that stop and pass and just drags that back foot and gets caught with the travel.
McLean sees the three, takes it, but no good. Rebound, offensive glass. And Chatham will maintain possession, or an extended possession, if you will. Second chance points. Becky Rowe will travel this time around.
A little far away for a layup there.
Yeah, big steps.
I don't think she realized how back she was from the backboard.
Quinn lead pass for Marsh. Nice step around move, but the finger roll off the glass won't fall. Rebound Manfredi.
That's when you got to finish there.
Manfredi, scrappy player for Sandy Rechtenwald's group. The team leader a year ago in assists and steals. For three, Eastman, nothing but net. And Chatham lead back up to 7.
She's another one not afraid to shoot it. 5 for 11 now from beyond the arc on the year.
Wide open Marsh, and she won't miss on the layup this time. Andrea Marsh.
Westminster doing a great job the last couple of possessions of breaking the Chatham press.
McLean left around his screen. Old pick and roll past the Engel. Right back to McLean, slicing through. She's fouled. Fromneck reaching out, and she knew it as soon as the whistle came.
A pretty pass, not a pretty shot by McLean. She was just trying to get the ball to the net there and maybe draw a foul, and she does.
Yeah, Fromneck had position and bailed out was McLean by the foul, and the Titans coaching staff expressing that out to the floor to the freshman. And growing pains to be expected along the way. And talking with Coach Roseanne Scott, I said this is probably going to be a challenge for you a little bit this year to be patient as a coach. And she said, yeah, that's, she said, you know, I think I've developed a little more patience in my old age. And she's really not all that old, you know, in her mid-30s, but well, nonetheless, yeah, she said it'll be a little bit of a challenge this year.
Well, she was one of the youngest head coaches. She was the youngest head coach back in 2002 when she was coaching at the age of 24.
Fromneck with the bucket. She has 5. Yeah, she was a 2000 graduate of Bethany College and left there holding many school records. And was inducted into the Bethany Hall of Fame last fall. One of her teammates, Jill Kammerer-Smith, inducted this fall. And she was very excited for that, was able to make it down. And those ladies were in school when I was in college in the PAC, and that Bethany team was quite the impressive group. I can assure you of that, Nate Regatta. Here's a three-pointer knocked down with Chatham all the way around. On fire from beyond the arc. This time it's Anna Shishura. And the lead is 8 for the Cougars.
Yeah, that's a difference right now. 5 total three-pointers put up by the Cougars in this first half with still 3.5 minutes left.
2 for Engel and single three-pointers for McLean, Eastman, and now Shishura.
County Patriots for Independent Living is raising funds for renovation.
Cougars impressive here in the first half. Nice steal, but unable to stay in bounds, Paige Quinn, so ball will stay with the Cougars.
Catherine Pulaski, who's in the game, trying to force a pass there.
Nearing the 3-minute mark in the first half. Stay tuned at the half with our triple halftime show. Three-pointer, Eastman this time misses. Cougars finally miss a three-pointer. And ball stripped free, going up with a shot, Shishura. The Titans defense right there anticipating, and a blocking foul on Kovalsic on the back end.
Oh, and look at that look from Kovalsic. She doesn't like it. I mean, that play's all started from Fromnet getting a piece of the ball on the opposite end of the court, then getting it down there and drawing the foul.
Re-entering is Engel for the Cougars, checking out Catherine Pulaski. And another whistle, hard foul underneath the basket.
That's Engel, who went right up from behind and knew she did it right away. Put her hands up. No, I didn't mean to, but she did.
And that'll put Allison Bortz at the line. Bortz the top scorer. One of the top scorers for the Titans this year. She along with Rachel Durbin, both averaging 10 points per game this season.
And this team will absolutely look to Bortz for the senior leadership.
Misses at the line, however. Kovalsic quick board up ahead to McLean, leading the floor of the forecourt. Engel left side to Becky Rowe as she surveys with Marsh guarding. Ball off the fingertips, but retained by Engel. Swing it around left side again for Rowe. 10 on the shot clock. And a three-point try. Looked like it might have been tipped by Quinn, but nonetheless still clanged off the back of the iron for Shishura. Rebound Titans. Look at the cylinder by Grandy. She'll pass it off to Bortz with the miss. Rebound Engel and the Cougars. Engel will slow it up, finds McLean. Kicks it to Rowe, open for the triple, and the rainbow drops through, and an 11-point lead for the Cougars, their largest of the game.
And she hung it up there, too. She let it go and let that right hand hang.
I mentioned earlier she can hit the three. This time a miss by Westminster trying to match Becky Rowe. The Cougars up by 11. And Sandy Rechtenwald, who we'll talk with at the half in our one-on-one chat with both her and junior guard Rachel McLean. And we'll stop with all of the schools along the way in the 2014-2015 season, but surely Coach Rechtenwald has to be quite happy with her team's play to this point. And as you said, Nate, the three-pointers are the difference in the game, surely.
Yeah, absolutely. And this is a totally different Chatham team from a season ago. I can tell you that much, Randy. We had both seen them. And right now, just moving the ball well, shooting the ball spectacularly.
Now, one of the things that Coach Rechtenwald had spoke of is that this junior class, as there's a three-point hit from the left side for Allison Bell. But she said that this junior class, one that she recruited from the get-go. This is Coach Rechtenwald's fourth year. So she said that finally, the players that are here now, especially the juniors, are players that are speaking her language. And what she means by that is she has coached them up in instituting some of those rules and coaching theories to the youngsters on this Chatham team. Westminster fighting back here in the late stages of the first half.
And it's always tough for any athlete to go through a coaching change.
Becky Rowe for three, this time off the mark. Rebound Allison Bortz. Shot clock is off, and a timeout for Westminster. Roseanne Scott wants the timeout. We'll pause for a quick one as well. We'll be right back on the PAC Sports Network.
Tri-County Patriots for Independent Living is raising funds for renovation and new construction of the YWCA building on West Maiden Street in Washington. Triple is a membership organization of people with disabilities and their families, friends, and neighbors. Triple's vision is to embrace the Y's historic, uplifting character while creating a state-of-the-art, fully accessible community center. We are accepting various types of donations for the rehabilitation of the Y. Visit ywca.triple.com or call 724-223-5115 for more information.
There you get a look at Coach Roseanne Scott of the Westminster Titans, as we talked about earlier, in her 13th year now with the Westminster Titans. Also was named to the PAC 60th anniversary team. And when you think back, 60 years of PAC basketball, and Roseanne Scott, a member of that team. Exceptional. And right now she's hoping for a last-second bucket here to end the first half. 12 on the game clock. Again, shot clock is off at this point. Paige Quinn, basketball to the point. Fromnecht in some trouble. Baseline, quick passing. Quinn finds boards for the lay, and nicely done. Tic-tac-toe before the buzzer. And Westminster eating into Chatham's lead a little bit. It was 11. Now it's just 4 at the half. So 34-30 Cougars. And again, coming up on our triple halftime show, a one-on-one chat with Coach Sandy Rechtenwald and also Chatham junior guard Rachel McLean. All of that coming up next on the PAC Sports Network.
For over 2 decades, the Tri-County Patriots for Independent Living organization, known as Triple, has been diligently working to deliver their mission serving people with disabilities in Washington, Fayette, and Greene counties. Accomplishing their mission and goals, affirming liberty and justice for all people with disabilities, takes an organization of persons dedicated to delivering consumer-focused services to the area. The facility expansion into the YWCA building, located on West Maiden Street in Washington, brings a heightened energy for Triple. Having outgrown the current Triple facility, the renovation of the historic YWCA building provides Triple with the opportunity to expand their services to the local residents for public use, while restoring a treasured local landmark building. While preserving the historic interior design integrity of the YWCA building, the importance of this expansion will truly have an impact on the services that Triple can provide to not only their members, but to the community as well. The expanded facility will feature an internet cafe providing free online access, a rehabilitation gymnasium providing increased exercise facilities and sports offerings, a wellness center, auditorium, and staging area for the special events use within the community, meetings and multi-purpose rooms, in addition to expanded administrative offices. Triple has limited sources of financing generally only available for programs and not for capital improvements. Consequently, Triple needs funding dedicated to the rehabilitation of the YWCA and needs your help. We enter into this new and expanded phase of service offerings with a strong commitment to aggressively continue our mission. We thank our local donors and ask for you to consider joining with us in our quest to meet and exceed the demands for the important services provided by Triple. Donations can be made to Triple at this address. For further information on ways you can help, please visit our website, triple.com, or call 724-223-5115.
When you're seriously in debt, you know that feeling. It returns every time the phone rings. Things are out of control. A job you were counting on didn't come through, or you got sick. No matter how it got to this point, your creditors don't care or understand, but I do. It's not too late. I can help. If you're embarrassed, overwhelmed, or frustrated, don't be. I'm not here to judge. I'm here to help, and you do need help. Please call me. There is a way out, and I'll get you there.
I'm Reedy Gore on the PAC Sports Network, and we're here with Chatham head coach Sandy Rechtenwald. Coach, you're in your 4th year now with the Chatham Cougars. Tell us, what's the atmosphere like coming into year 4 here with Chatham?
I think that the intensity level and the energy level is definitely, they both have increased this year, and it feels really good to watch our players compete for the full 40 minutes, and there is a deep desire to win this year that I think is deeper than in years past. There's an expectation that we're going to do better from everyone, and so everyone is working really hard.
And looking at some of your players, Rachel McLean, a young lady that we'll also speak with here in a few minutes, but a sharpshooter from the outside, one of your top scorers from last year. What kind of talent is she?
She's awesome. She gives you everything she possibly has and more. She's on the floor. She's going for rebounds. She's short, but she doesn't play to her size at all. I mean, she will regularly guard the best player on the other team, and that's something that she has come to do very well. And then she's able to turn around and score, which is sometimes very difficult. You know, when you're really working hard in that 30-second shot clock on defense, sometimes it's hard to turn around and give it your all in offense, and she always does. And this year, I think actually she's going to have an even easier time of scoring because we have some more threats on the team. The opponents don't always have to key on her, which is going to open her up to do even more on the offensive end.
And Jessica Manfredi, the team leader in assists from a year ago, as far as what she does for the team in setting the table for other players like Rachel McLean, talk about that. That's really her very important role, is being the best teammate while also just really hustling. You know, she doesn't have the deflections aren't something that show up on the stat sheet, but she is the catalyst for so many steals on defense. She's going to give you one tough foul every game, but that's okay. We can live with that. She's just a bulldog. She will work so hard for you, and she is all about making sure that the people that should have the ball in their hands have the ball in their hands. Sometimes that could be her. She's hit big threes in big games before, so she has the capability to score, but she knows right now she doesn't have to. And so she can make sure that our top scorers get the ball, and then when she scores, it's a bonus. Freshman Megan Sieg, a player who just this past fall for the Chatham soccer team was the team leader in goals scored with 12. She's had a pretty nice start with the basketball season as well. Now, where did you find her? Was she a player that you recruited for basketball, or did you find her on the soccer field? Yeah, we Jess Manfredi and Megan went to the same high school, so I actually saw her when she was a sophomore, liked her from the very beginning, and we're thrilled that she's here with us. She's an athlete. She's quick. She can take the ball to the hoop really, really well. She's work on her foul shots, but that'll come. She's definitely a great addition to the team on the offensive end, but also the defensive end. She and Rachel together, when they're in together, they can defend the best guards in the conference, and it's really nice for both of them that they don't always have to do that. And so if one of them is guarding the best player, the other one can shine a little bit on offense, and they can trade off. So it's really nice for both of them that they can be together. Something that's proven elusive for Chatham in recent years is reaching the PAC tournament. This year's team, you know, we mentioned earlier you're in your 4th year. I'm sure you have to feel probably as good about any team as this year's team. What's it going to take this season for Chatham to reach the PAC tournament and go deep into the tournament? We've played well for maybe 20 or 25 minutes, but we seem to have either like a first quarter lapse or a third quarter lapse, and we need to clean that up if we want to be able to make it. But I do feel that we can be very competitive with the middle of the pack. You know, Thomas More, Waynesburg, those are going to be very challenging games for us, but we know that, and so we can prepare for those games differently. For the rest of the teams in our conference, we really feel that we can compete, and the team has shown just early in the year this year that they are willing to dig deep. Even we've lost big leads, we've lost the lead late in the game, and we've come back and been able to secure the victory. And so those are skills that I know that we can put into play against conference opponents. And with so many returning players this season. Do you feel like this year's team has as good a chance as any that you've had?
Yeah, I do. The juniors especially, because I recruited them, I really feel for the first time the upperclassmen are speaking my language. I don't have to give as much redirection, even in things off the court, the expectations that we have for the team. The juniors, Anna Shishora, Rachel McLean, and Chelsea Kowalczyk, I can hear them repeating the things that I have said over the last 3 years, and that is so helpful because they're just helping the younger classes, pick up on what's important to me, to the team. So I think the cohesiveness is there, and we're ready to make a difference in the conference this year.
It's Coach Sandy Rechtenwald of the Chatham Cougars. Coming up next, we're going to talk with Rachel McLean of the Cougars right after this.
Faith and freedom are far-reaching matters for us. The freedom to pursue a calling in life, and the faith that it will make a big difference. The freedom to use the value of an education to pay it forward, and a Christian faith to make it count. At Grove City College, faith and freedom create opportunities. And that's why faith and freedom matter.
Welcome back on the PAC Sports Network. Now we talk with Chatham junior guard Rachel McLean. Rachel, you're in your third season now with the Chatham Cougars. Tell us about how excited you are to both personally and collectively from the team perspective to get this season started, especially with conference play getting underway tonight.
I'm very excited. We have a great group of girls this year with the addition of 2 newcomers, and I think we're more experienced now, and we know what it means to win. We're figuring it out quickly with already 2 wins this season, so I think everybody's very excited.
And you mentioned the experience of this year's team, along with yourself. I mean, some players that have started from freshman year on. How valuable is that experience coming into the season?
It's very valuable now. We have 4 players are returning in the starting group, and then 1 is a freshman. So that experience from last year and then the past years is becoming very valuable.
Now, a game nearly a year ago, a game that we had live on the PAC Sports Network, you set the school single game record for most three-pointers with 9. Take us back to that game, and maybe did you get a sense in warm-ups that you were going to have a good night?
That was a really exciting game. I still remember it. No, not really. I seem to always have a good game against Geneva, and just came out and first 3 and then second 3, and then everybody just kept passing me the ball when I was open, and it led to 9 threes.
Now, in high school, you played on back-to-back District 6 championship teams at Hollidaysburg. Take us back to your high school days and what it was like to play on those championship teams.
It was great. High school was great. Our team was pretty close-knit, and we practiced hard day in and day out. And it showed, because in the end we'd win the majority of our games, and came down, we won 2 back-to-back district championships, and then the year after I left, they won another district championship. It's a very good group of girls.
Now, how do you hope to translate those championship-winning teams that you were on at Hollidaysburg and bring that winning championship-type experience here to Chatham?
Just play hard. I play hard when every second that I'm on the court, and when I'm on the bench, I'm cheering my teammates on. So I think that since we got that taste of winning early in the season, I think that we'll hopefully turn more games into wins this season.
Now, also while in high school, you were awarded the 12th annual Lynette Williams Award, which is given to a player in Blair County each year. Talk about what that award is. Tell us first what it is, and obviously how honored you were to win that award.
Lynette Williams, I think 12 years ago, she was an incredible basketball player. She was great. She hustled, she had great sportsmanship, and then she died very suddenly, and so each year, to remember her and to honor her, they give an award to a senior, or it was a graduating senior, and I won the award in 2012, and it was incredible to be honored like that. I did not know Lynette, but it was to talk with her mom and that I was voted to win that award. I think it was pretty awesome.
Now, you're an exercise science major here at Chatham, but I see on your online profile on the Chatham website that your favorite class is chemistry. How does that work out?
Chemistry kind of fits in with exercise science. I took chemistry last year, and I really enjoyed it. I think it's something about the mathematics in it or something. I don't know. I just really liked it. It came easy to me. It was simple.
And what's your favorite part about either playing on this Chatham basketball team or going to Chatham in general?
Playing on the team, I'd say just a real good group of friends from this team. We don't hang out so much outside of basketball, but we know we can always count on each other for anything.
It's Rachel McLean, junior guard with the Chatham Cougars. Thanks for your time, and good luck to you and the Cougars this season.
Thank you.
When you are in need of fast, affordable, and professional voiceovers, contact TimeAd Productions. TimeAd Productions offers voice services for business presentations, documentary narrations, radio, television, imaging, and commercials, movie trailers, corporate phone systems, websites, audiobooks, and more. Visit or contact us online at www.timeadproductions.com.
Welcome back to Chatham University in Pittsburgh as the Cougars leading the Westminster Titans 34-30 in our PAC broadcast opener on the PAC Sports Network. I'm Randy Gore along with Nate Rigotti. Glad to have you along. Some individual totals as we are about to begin the second half. Rachel McLean with 11 points leading all scorers for the Cougars. Megan Sieg and Nikki Engel also with 6 each. And for the Westminster Titans, 5 leads their group. Christine Fromneck with 5. And the Titans with possession to begin, and Allison Bortz cuts it to a 2-point game. Remember, this was an 11-point lead for Chatham at 34-23, and now suddenly, after a late run by the Titans to end the first half, it's just a 2-point contest.
Yeah, Westminster finished the first half on a 7-0 run. A 3-pointer, then finished off by the Allison Bortz layup.
Shashura for 3, no good, and will bound out of bounds. Chatham has been very good from beyond the arc tonight, 6 of 17 in the first half.
And just looking at some other team stats, I'm a bit surprised here, Randy. Westminster out-rebounded Chatham 24-16 and outshot them, shooting 40% to 35, but still trailed by 4 points at half.
And now just a 2-point deficit, and looking to at least tie and or take the lead. There's a nice dish. Quinn DeMarsh can't finish though. Rebound McLean, and before she tumbles to the floor, able to dish it off to Manfredi.
And if you go back to the end of last half and the beginning of this half, it's now a Westminster 9-0 run.
Chatham trying to put that run to a close. Megan Sieg, right side low blocks, kicks it to the right quarter. Becky Rowe, guarded by Marsh as she dribbles left. Finds Manfredi. Rowe, Shashura, 3-point try blocked. Shot clock buzzer sounds. Westminster basketball.
Yeah, Fromneck wasn't having any of that. Right in the face, put a hand up.
Timeouts here from Chatham. We'll pause for a break on the PAC Sports Network.
For 150 years, Teal College has provided a high-quality liberal arts education with excellent career preparation to students across the country and world. If you're looking for the right combination of academic challenge, personal involvement, and exceptional value, then it's time to discover the Teal difference. To learn more about a Teal College education, Visit www.teal.edu and follow us at Teal College. Join the conversation using the hashtag TealDifference.
Westminster trailing by 2, but with the basketball. Andrea Marsh will trigger full court pressure from the Chatham Cougars, which we have seen much of the night. Paige Quinn lobs a pass, lead pass to Fromneck, successful after it was tipped. Nice dish to Bortz, can't finish. Fromneck, though, with the putback, and we're all square here early in the second half.
That's just a great job by the Titans there to break the press, get the ball up the court, and then the offensive rebound and the putback by Fromneck to tie the ball game up.
Shashura from the right side. Fromneck brings out the defense. Bounce past the McLean in traffic, tipped and taken away. Shashura with a near steal, dive on the floor, tie-up situation, and the arrow with Westminster.
Now, two gritty teams now. Chatham seems a bit desperate, trying to find an answer now to this hot Westminster team.
Well, you mentioned, Nate, earlier on that Chatham has only defeated Westminster twice all time, 14-2, the all-time lead in this series for Westminster. But last season, Chatham took Westminster to the wire, had the lead at the half and throughout much of the game. Actually, it was tied at the half, my apologies, 31-31. But had the lead in the second half late in the game, but Westminster rallied for the win behind outstanding play by one of the seniors, Gabby Holko, one of last year's senior leaders. Holko now gone, of course, but she helped lead the Titans back. And this one, now that we're tied, has a similar look to it. Megan Sieg with the bucket, count it, and the foul.
That's just a desperation shot that falls and kisses the glass. Nowhere to go, pushes the ball up, and it happens to fall in, but good for Sieg. And Chatham retakes the lead.
61-54 was the final on January 4th last year here at Chatham, with the victors being the Westminster Titans. But a game that was closer than the final score would indicate.
Those two wins back in the 2010-2011 season.
So it has been a little while. And yeah, it was a season sweep for Chatham that year over Westminster, for the only 2 wins all time for the Cougars against these Titans. 36-34 now the score.
Has only been a member of the PAC since 2007. Not much history.
Ball sits on the rim, falls out. Marsh had the rebound, but taken out of her grasp by Rachel McLean. Another fine hustling play.
McLean came out of nowhere there to steal that ball.
Ball tipped out of bounds by Marsh. Possession will stay with the Cougars. You know, like a lightning bolt, she took the basketball away and then managed to pass it off before she fell out of bounds. Terrific effort. 3 minutes into the second half. Kovalcic looks to Sieg. Three-pointer, knocks it down. And the lead is 5 once again for the Cougars.
It looked like an awkward shot, too. The way Sieg releases the ball, she moves her legs in an odd fashion, but still makes it work.
So a 5-0 run now by Chatham, and another steal. Here comes McLean. It's a 7-0 run for the Cougars. McLean with a game-high 13. Dangerous pass, and reaching in, Becky Rowe charged with the foul. No one in foul trouble, something we took note of at the half. Pretty much the fouls all well distributed to this point.
Yeah, the only person with multiple fouls in the first half was Megan Sieg with 2.
And those came back-to-back in the first half. But Sieg has stayed out of foul trouble, to her credit. Also as a young player, certainly to her credit, the 5'10 freshman out of Sarah Catholic High School. Right now it's Paige Quinn, nice crossover on Engel, and a dish baseline going up toward the cylinder, and fouled is Kylie Cook. She'll shoot a pair.
And Sandy Rechtenwald told us before the game, Randy, that she wouldn't mind to see a little more aggression from her Cougars, fouling a little bit more. She's said there's been plenty of room to foul throughout the early portion of the season.
Kylie Cook hits the first, 5'10 freshman out of Mount Lebanon. Second one off the back of the iron. Rebound tipped around. Manfredi Eventually corrals it. In the backcourt, it's Sieg. Pass it to the forecourt. Engel. Freshman to freshman. A lot of freshmen on the floor tonight. 8 on the roster for Westminster. McLean, head fake, dribbles in through 4 players, shot off the underside of the rim. Left side for 3, Durbin unable to connect. Board goes to Manfredi. 6-point lead maintained for the Chatham Cougars, 41-35. So after it was tied 34 all after an 11-0 run by Westminster, starting in the late stages of the first half, then into the early stages of the second half. The Chatham answering with a 7-0 run. And currently 41-35. Paige Quinn circling around, hampered by Sieg. That's her 3rd foul.
Yeah, that's a little touchy. Sandy Rechtenwald not happy with that call either. And now Sieg in a little bit of trouble in the foul territory.
Some new troops entering, and Becky Rowe will check in for Sieg, again with 3 fouls. Also checking out Rachel McLean and Jessica Manfredi. Eastman guarding Krug. From Necht to Grandy. Cross court, Quinn open for the triple. Off the mark, rebound Rowe. Ball off the foot of Kylie Cook and out of bounds.
Fortuitous bounce. That one just couldn't be corralled there by Rowe, and it just happens to go off the foot.
Over 5 minutes in now in the second half. Eastman eyes the cylinder from straight on, but well off the mark on the 3-point try. Ball to Westminster despite the hustling effort by Nikki Engel.
And Eastman had 1 triple in the first half.
And again, that was one of 6 3-point connects for the Cougars in half number 1.
Absolutely the difference. With just a 4-point lead at half.
Head fake inside, Grandy dribbles left, has Cook. Nice head fake as well, draws the foul from Kovalcic. Kovalcic with 2 fouls. And Sandy Rechtenwald with some instructions for Manfredi, which in this quiet gymnasium at the moment with Cook shooting free throws, you can hear some of those even from up here on the perch in the Cougar Den as we are sitting here tonight at Chatham University. Cook hits both free throws, and it's a 4-point game again. Cook with 5. Majority of her work from the charity stripe. Shashura spins her way. Now it's Eastman. Looks to Shashura, top of the key. Rowe, left side. Looking for something to come about. Now has Engel with 7 on the shot clock to Rowe for 3. Clangs off the iron, and we have a whistle. Fighting for the rebound. This whistle is on Westminster. Much to the dismay of many of the Westminster faithful, some of which you can hear right under our crowd mic tonight.
I believe they call it on Paige Quinn underneath the basket, shoved a girl out of the way.
That's exactly what they call Paige Quinn. Baseline move, Engel finds Shashura for 3. Shashura, nothing but net, 44-37.
And there's those 3-pointers again for Chatham. That's not going to work all game, so you think, but for so far for the Cougars, it has.
Whistle as Krug trying to drive in. And this time, Chatham charged for the foul. And didn't quite catch the number on that last individual for the Cougars, who was whistled for the foul, but nonetheless.
Neither did I, partner.
Yeah,
sorry.
That's all right. Well, we're at a difficult angle because we're away from the scores table, opposite side. So numbers are opposite, number 1, but also when the officials are in some traffic, tough to see. But there's a nice bucket and 1 for Jenna Grandy.
And I know who that foul is going to be on. That's on Anna Shashura underneath.
No doubt about that one. And Jenna Grandy on the score sheet, the 5'9" senior.
Now for Westminster, 11 players on the score sheet, all scoring tonight.
3-point play completed. And it's a 4-point advantage for the Cougars. Now, while the leading scorer is Fromnecht with only 7, as you said, with so many players on the score sheet tonight for Westminster, certainly a positive for Coach Roseanne Scott's group. We have a whistle on Westminster, a foul. And so Rachel McLean will trigger from the bench area of the Cougars, and Manfredi surveys. Has Rowe left side. Passes right, McLean right back to Rowe. Cross court, Manfredi off her hands, able to recover and reel in that wild pass. Kovalsic near the free throw line. Drives the right side of the lane, off the right side of the rim, however. Pinning it to the backboard, no good. Rebound. Cook up ahead to Krug, and she's in traffic, fouled by Shashura. And Shashura took the brunt of that, even though she was charged for the foul.
Little hand check there, trying to reach in.
And we're already at the 1-1 now here for Westminster in the second half. 1-1 opportunity for the freshman, Caitlin Krug. Oh, and Kovalsic falling into the lane despite the miss. A lane violation. And Kovalsic can't help but, actually, not only Kovalsic, but many others here with a smile on their face here in this gymnasium. Actually, there was no lane violation charge there, was, or no, there was. Okay, I was going to say there had to be.
But nobody actually said it, just kind of happened.
So what will go down is actually the first free throw. It is good for Krug. Second one also true. So Krug given a reprieve thanks to Kovalsic on what was a humorous moment here at the Chatham Gymnasium. No matter what side you were on of the ledger, you had a smile on your face as Kovalsic was doing all she could to not fall into the lane. Well, you never know what you might see on any given night, and that was certainly a moment that she'll probably be razzed about. I should say probably, she will be razzed about by her teammates for some time, I'm sure.
I'm going to guess next time she's on the foul line, too, she'll watch how close she gets to that line and balancing herself from falling in.
Blocking foul charged on to Rachel Durbin of the Titans. Rachel McLean, one of the more reliable shooters for the Cougars, 74% from the free throw line, but as I say that, she misses the first. Kovalsic will check out. Megan Segree enters with 3 fouls. Callie Cook exits for the Westminster Titans as they exchange personnel. Second free throw is good for McLean.
Leading all scorers with 14.
Above her average of 13 for the season, on the young season. Nice crossover. Krug has an open player left side for 3. Jenna Grandy cannot connect. Good offensive board though by Bortz. Misses, put back, this time draws the foul.
You can't let Bortz get that many opportunities underneath. Have to shut her down, get the rebound for yourself. That's what's going to happen.
And Rachel McLean with the foul this time. Well, both coaches speaking about rebounding is a key portion of tonight's contest. And there you saw a second chance and a third chance develop for the Titans offensively. Bortz drops in the first. Bortz 73% free throw shooter. 16 of 22 entering tonight's play. Misses the second. Marsh, though, with the offensive glass and wide open for the lay-in. Allison Bortz, and we're all tied after all of that. 45 up.
And nothing you could do there the way the rebound fell, and Bortz is cutting right to the lane.
For 3. And there's the answer for the Chatham Cougars and Jessica Manfredi. Every time Westminster has either come close or tied this game, Chatham has responded in kind. And trying to answer as well, 3-pointer for Krug. Spoons out, rebound McLean. Player falls down at midcourt. That was Durbin, untouched. And a lay-in from the right side. Megan Sieg, timeout, Roseanne Scott. As again, just as Westminster ties it, the Chatham Cougars regain the lead and improve upon it. Full timeout here from Chatham. We'll be back on the PAC Sports Network.
Tri-County Patriots for Independent Living is raising funds for renovation and new construction of the YWCA building on West Maiden Street in Washington. Triple is a membership organization of people with disabilities and their families, friends, and neighbors. Triple's vision is to embrace the Y's historic, uplifting character while creating a state-of-the-art, fully accessible community center. We are accepting various types of donations for the rehabilitation of the Y. Visit ywca.triple.com or call 724-223-5115 for more information.
I'm Erica Gunther, and I'm a nursing student here at Thomas More College. Everybody knows each other. You can't go 10 feet down the hallway without saying hi to probably 3 people that you know from either a classroom or a sport or from meeting from one of the clubs or organizations here on campus, because we have so many of them. They want to show you what college is going to be like. You're a student and you're going to behave like a professional in your environment, because that's what they're training you to be. Thomas More College is preparing me for success as a nurse.
Welcome back to Chatham. We're in the second half, 50-45. The Cougars leading after Westminster tied it for the second time in this half, 45-45. Chatham with a quick 5-0 spurt. A 3 by Manfredi and a 2-point bucket by Megan Sieg. Right now on defense are the Cougars. And Krug, nice move, sifting through defenders, and the point-blank jump shot. 3-point game. Caitlin Krug with 7. Becky Rowe surveys from the right wing. And Freddie to McLean as she slithers through defenders. And back to a 5-point advantage for Chatham.
Pretty layup there. Just a good ball player in McLean.
Baseline, Marsh. Good bounce pass. A from neck block, but fouled from behind by Rachel McLean.
McLean just playing gritty there, sees the pass a couple steps away, then charges in trying to swat that ball away and gets a piece of the forearm.
Well, big portion of the game now with still over 10 minutes to play in the second half. I have McLean for 4 fouls now. And Fromnecht hits the first free throw. So as you would expect, McLean will check out. Kovalsic will enter. Is McLean the top scorer for the Cougars in foul trouble? Fromnecht, 8 points. And drops in the second. So she is above her average, the first-year player out of Erie McDowell. Manfredi to Rowe, straight on, passes back to Manfredi. Marsh brings out the defense. Right side, C. Quinn will back it off. 13 on the shot clock. Patient possession here for Chatham. Sieg, also the soccer standout for the Cougars, passing it away. Now left wing for 3. Becky Rowe cans it. 55-49 Cougars. Becky Rowe, her second triple of the game. 2 field goals for Rowe, both from beyond the arc. And Chatham has been lethal from the outside. Now it's Quinn for 3. Short on the shot, gets her own board though. Nice dish to Bortz underneath. That's the way to follow. Paige Quinn to Bortz. And a 4-point lead for Chatham.
Chatham's been hot from beyond the arc, but it's been Westminster who's been dominating the boards, and that's how these two teams have stayed even so well.
Tie up, Arrow with Westminster.
You can definitely feel the tension too, just right there. Trying to rip the ball away, the amount of fouls we've seen in the second half compared to the first. These two teams know it's going to come down to the last couple of minutes.
Chatham thought they had the basketball, but I was going to say unless the arrow wasn't changed, then the ball belongs with Westminster, and it does. Krug in the forecourt. Left wing from Necht. Down low, Bortz Well guarded by Rowe. Had to kick it out. Now it's Krug. Pull-up jump shot. Hard off the backboard. She follows for the rebound. Falls off the rim on the lay-in attempt. Rebound. Karams to Bortz. Bounce pass. And underneath, left-handed baby hook. No good for Fromnecht. And eventually the rebound to Chatham. But that was after second and third chance opportunities for Westminster.
Tough sledding underneath the basket right now, as I believe a foul will be called on Krug. Krug will check out of the game.
And entering in her stead, Rachel Durbin. Durbin, a 5'8" sophomore. She also has been a pleasant player to this Westminster coaching staff. And as a sophomore, she's one of the elder statesmen on this particular team, but still a youngster in Coach Roseanne Scott's eyes and playing particularly well. Is Becky Rowe. Bounce pass right corner, Shishura. Rowe with it. 17 on the shot clock. In traffic, Sieg, and foul, travel. No foul. It's a traveling call on Sieg.
That's a hard collision there, too. You think the charge call is going to come as she kind of puts her head down and charges into Marsh, but gets called with the steps.
Yeah, my initial thought was offensive foul, but bailed out was Megan Sieg with the traveling call. And Sieg ultimately will take that as she sits at 3 fouls. Paige Quinn looks left corner, but overthrows her target, Jenna Grandy.
Just an errant toss, trying to force something, get over top of the defense, and just misfires.
Our PAC Sports Network broadcast opener on Saturday. We are at Waynesburg. The Grove City Wolverines visit the Yellow Jackets in a doubleheader on the network. Chatham in a tight one, leading Westminster by 4. Ball lost out of bounds and untouched by Westminster's defense. Is the ball just out of the grasp of Shishura. Paige Quinn will walk it into the forecourt. Fakes it inside. Grandy looks to Durbin from beyond the perimeter. Grandy, left side, guarded by Manfredi. Near the baseline as Quinn, top of the key for 3. Short on the shot, but wide open for Grandy. She meant to do that, right? It's a 2-point game.
Yeah, but for Chatham there's nobody. Grandy is the only one inside that horseshoe underneath the basket. She's the only one there for a rebound. Chatham has to get underneath.
Kovalsic. Off the glass, no good. Quinn with the rebound. Chance to tie or take the lead for Westminster. Nearing the 7-minute mark. Durbin has Grandy. Grandy drives in, wide open lane. Pull-up jumper from point-blank range. No good, a foul. Foul on Westminster. And that's on Kylie Cook. So it stays a 2-point lead for Chatham. So we've been tied 2 separate times in the second half, 34-34 and 45-45. But each time Chatham has answered and has been in the lead throughout the vast majority of the game. Manfredi to Kovalsic near the free throw line. Eastman for 3, right side of the rim, tipped out of bounds. And a whistle near the fight for the rebound as McLean had position, and she will go to the line for a 1-and-1.
And the few Westminster fans not happy with the call.
Yeah, the Westminster contingent sitting directly underneath us, so you can hear them more so than the Chatham faithful in attendance tonight. So they were expressing their displeasure with the most recent call. Front end of the 1-and-1, connected on by Rachel McLean, now with 17 points tonight. And knocks down the second as well, so give her 18. talented junior out of Hollidaysburg. Tough pass, almost taken away by Engel. Durbin will give it away this time to Manfredi. Manfredi, long ball pass, and Engel blocked out of bounds. Clean block by Fromneck.
In the face, Fromneck just puts the arm out, slaps the ball down.
And Engel, as she has a grin on her face on the other end. And I think that was one of those where she went up with a shot and kind of maybe had a feeling that was going to come right back at her. Didn't quite have the better position there. Oh, and then the giveaway by Engel to Jenna Grandy. Heibach to Quinn, back to Heibach. Right side, Grandy. Eastman brings out the defense. Cross court to Quinn. Quinn fakes a pass right, spins out a dish to Heibach. 3, and it's a 1-point game. Big 3-point bucket.
Now the drive in and kick it back out to Heibach. She's wide open for the tray.
And Paige Quinn talking with Roseanne Scott and also with assistant coach Courtney Zitt, both expressing how intelligent of a basketball player Paige Quinn is. And you could see it from the assist that produced the 3-point bucket by Heibach, and now a turnover travel by Chatham.
Momentum definitely swinging in the Titans' favor.
Westminster still down by a point, however, but with the basketball. Quick pass, Quinn to Fromneck. Heibach has all day, puts up the 3. This time no good. Rebound Manfredi. And it's like somebody puts the lid over top anytime the opportunity to take the lead for Westminster is there. 3-pointer no good. Rebound, traffic, and a jump ball possession with Chatham.
You're exactly right. Westminster pulls close, pulls even, but can't ever get over that mountain. Can't take that lead.
And a timeout here at Chatham. 57-56 with 4:59 to play. We'll be back on the PAC Sports Network.
When you're seriously in debt, you know that feeling. It returns every time the phone rings. Things are out of control. A job you were counting on didn't come through, or you got sick. No matter how it got to this point, your creditors don't care or understand, but I do. It's not too late. I can help. If you're embarrassed, overwhelmed, or frustrated, don't be. I'm not here to judge. I'm here to help, and you do need help. Please call me. There is a way out, and I'll get you there.
I'm proud to be a president because I've been taught to be a leader, not just through what I say, but through what I do. Hi, I'm Zach, and I'm a senior.
Hi, I'm Becca, and I'm a freshman.
Hi, I'm Nate, and I'm a sophomore. I really like W&J and decided to come here because they offered me a great balance between academics and athletics, and both are very important to me, and that's something that's tough to find.
I know W&J is going to give me a great foundation.
W&J has given me a start, and with that start, I can go anywhere.
1-point ball game, under 5 to play here on our broadcast opener on the PAC Sports Network. Nate Rigotti, we wouldn't have it any other way.
This is fun. This is exactly what you want to begin the season here on the PAC Sports Network. A nail-biter. It's been back and forth, even though Westminster has not had the lead. They've been even the entire time here.
Game has been tied twice in the second half. And giveaway to Westminster.
There was confusion there. Westminster thought they had the ball. They were back, and Chatham had the easy basket.
Well, Chatham did have the arrow, and then the timeout had occurred.
That was just confusion on Westminster's part.
Grandy for 3. Well, there's a fine response. So Chatham with that essentially a free bucket, and now a 3-pointer has evened the score, 59 all. Well, that's a strange turn of events.
Wow.
Now, Jenna Grandy, big 3. She has come alive in the second half. 8 points, all 8 in half number 2. Becky Rowe inside to Kovalsic, and she travels.
Yeah. Westminster wanted that travel, about 3 different women touching that ball, and they couldn't get the call, and then finally they get the call on Kovalsic.
So we're even for the 3rd time now in the second half. Can Westminster get over the hump? They have a chance right here. Under 4 to play. Heibach around a screen, now to Grandy. Kovalsic steps up the defense. One of the more intense defenders for the Cougars. Right now it's Sieg guarding Heibach, in some trouble. Grandy loses the handle. Kovalsic with the loose ball. Grandy with the foul.
Great defense by Sieg there, not to allow anybody to get penetration against her, and that forces the turnover there.
And again, we're at the 1-1, the bonus point of the second half. And it's Kovalsic, Chelsea Kovalsic, 5'9" junior. And she is listed as a forward on this roster. And again, that's when we talked with Coach Sandy Rechtenwald, she said that in defending the post player without 6'3" Emily Schmidt, that she would do it with some of her more physical defenders. Chelsea Kovalsic is one of those more physical defenders. Here, misses on the front end of the 1-1, and that is crucial. We stay tied, 59 all. Bortz pass to Grandy, who's been on fire in the second half. Inside look, Allison Bortz on the right side, low blocks, and Westminster for the first time in the second half has the lead. Bortz in double digits. Can Chatham answer? They've had an answer all night long, and they do here. Megan Sieg with a bucket from the right side, low blocks. Sieg with a dozen. The press is on for the Cougars. Westminster breaks that pressure. Paige Quinn, wide open, will go inside to Bortz, who draws the foul on Kovalsic.
How important do these free throws become here late in the ballgame? The missed 1-1 by Kovalsic, and now Bortz with a chance to put Westminster back on top.
Bortz, a 73% free throw shooter. Has one hang around the rim and fall true. Westminster retakes the lead. Second one also good for Bortz. She has a dozen. Engel left side to Rachel McLean. Back in the game with 4 fouls. Nearing the 2.5-minute mark here of the second half. For 3, Engel no good. Toe might have been on the line. The miss, however, makes it a moot point. And pass and out of bounds. Andrea Marsh trying to save it, but could not. Coach Roseanne Scott thought that Marsh did, and she disagrees with the call.
Now, I'll agree with the stripes on that one. Marsh very close. Foot went down as she released the ball, but was out of bounds.
Kovalsic directs traffic. Manfredi, top of the key, looks to Sieg. She draws a whistle. Paige Quinn. So 1-1 again for the Cougars.
Coach Rechtenwald yelling for more movement by the Chatham offense.
First free throw connected on. From this point on, the Cougars will be in the double bonus. But that front end paramount here for the Cougars and trying to tie this one up. Late stages of the second half, and the game is tied. Megan Sieg, who when we talked with Coach Sandy Rechtenwald last week, she said Sieg needs to work on her free throw shooting a little bit. She's been a great freshman for us, but the free throw shooting could be better. Well, the freshman comes through in the clutch with some big shots from the charity stripe. We're all square again. Under 2 to play. Pass tipped inside, finds its way to Bortz, in traffic. And an offensive foul on Allison Bortz.
She tosses the ball to the side. I thought a walk was going to be called in there, but instead the foul.
That's what I had thought as well. That the offensive foul on Allison Bortz instead. 63-63. Clock now running. A little bit of a delay on the home clock as Manfredi tripped up in a foul coming against Westminster.
Well, there's no doubt about it. The whistles have been a little bit more active here in the second half, and I think that's because of the people in the jerseys and the referee uniforms. Just ticky-tacky fouls here at the end of this ball game.
Marsh charged with the most recent. Double bonus now for Chatham. First one good for Manfredi. Is Chatham in the lead now, 64-63. Manfredi with 4, also a three-pointer to her credit tonight. Hits both free throws on this trip. So the Cougars leading by a pair. And Roseanne Scott wants a timeout for Westminster. The Titans trailing by 2 in the late stages of the second half on the PAC Sports Network.
When you are in need of fast, affordable, and professional voiceovers, contact TimeAd Productions. TimeAd Productions offers voice services for business presentations, documentary narrations, radio, television, imaging, and commercials, movie trailers, corporate phone systems, websites, audiobooks, and more. Visit or contact us online at www.timeadproductions.com.
It begins here on a beautiful campus in southwestern Pennsylvania. At Waynesburg University, students become leaders in education, in business, in government, and science. They learn to tackle real-world issues with innovation and purpose, and are prepared for these roles within a community that fosters spiritual growth. Waynesburg University, a tradition of faith since 1849.
What a way to kick off the broadcast schedule on the PAC Sports Network. It's a nail-biter with 1:39 to go. And I'd like to remind you to purchase a DVD keepsake of today's game. Email the PAC Sports Network at info@pacstream.net. DVDs of today's broadcast are just $25. Back underway out of the Westminster timeout. Andrea Marsh. Top of the key has Fromneck. Fromneck. Blocking foul coming up here on the Cougars. Kovalsic thought she had a clean strip, but blocking on Nikki Engel instead. And this will be 2 for Westminster. And as you said, Nate, the whistles have become more prevalent here in half number 2.
Yeah, there's no denying it whatsoever. All the referees just being more observant and not letting the brutal play go on that happened in the first half and early portions of the second half.
Fromneck misses the first, hits the second. 1-point game. From the Chatham perspective, or really from either perspective, an important possession right here. Cutting to the basket, Sieg. And an offensive foul on Megan Sieg.
Well, Sieg drives. She has the lane. If she goes up easy, either a foul gets called or she at least makes the basket there. But instead, she kind of lowered her shoulder right into Bortz and gets called with the charge.
4th foul on Sieg, so keep your eye on that situation. 4 for Sieg, 4 for Rachel McClain. Westminster with the ball, trailing by 1. Nearing 1 minute to go. Grandy. Fromneck, nice passing into Bortz. Collision, shot no good, ball out of bounds off of Chatham.
Those two having a tough time underneath. I did not want to get in between those two right now, and Kovalsic and Bortz.
The officials get a fresh shot clock. And a steal by Kovalsic baseline, but Andrea Marsh with a diving play and then the timeout.
Oh, what a heads-up play by Marsh.
Outstanding effort by Marsh. Full timeout for the Westminster Titans. We'll be right back on the PAC Sports Network.
My name is Rick Dorman, and I work in higher education. Parents ask me which colleges they should consider for their children. I know they're looking for an advantage. Like merit scholarships, which could total $80,000, opportunity for student involvement, or even dedicated personal faculty. And as president of Westminster College, I can assure them that their child will gain that here. So if you want an advantage, consider Westminster.
Tri-County Patriots for Independent Living is raising funds for renovation and new construction of the YWCA building on West Maiden Street in Washington. Triple is a membership organization of people with disabilities and their families, friends, and neighbors. Triple's vision is to embrace the Y's historic, uplifting character while creating a state-of-the-art, fully accessible community center. We are accepting various types of donations for the rehabilitation of the Y. Visit ywca.triple.com or call 724-223-5115 for more information.
How will this one go down? Right now, it's a 1-point lead for the Cougars, but we still have 55.1 to go, which could be an eternity in this one. After a great hustling play by Andrea Marsh, Westminster has possession. Baseline inbounds pass by Quinn. Grandy, quick pass to Marsh, sits on the front of the rim, rebound Kovalsic. And let's see, off the collision, we have a whistle on Westminster, much to the disbelief of Roseanne Scott, but Kovalsic muscled her way for the rebound. And a clean play as ruled by the officials.
And I believe that's ruled on Bortz underneath.
I believe you are correct. So Allison Bortz with the foul. 1-point lead. Kovalsic, a deep breath. Ball in the air. Nothing but net on the first free throw.
That's her first one made this season. 0 for 2 coming in. Missed the 1-and-1 just a few moments ago.
You can hear a pin drop. Hits the second. 3-point game. Big conference opener for Westminster. This is the second PAC game for Chatham after dropping their PAC opener on Monday to St. Vincent. 3-point game, 2-point try. Rebound Chatham, it's Sieg with it. But a turnover by Chatham upon the rebound, so possession will stay with Westminster ultimately.
Sieg grabbed it and fell to her behind. Nothing you can do, that's a travel.
Quinn, baseline inbounds, has Grandy. Makes a move on McLean. Baseline goes in and is fouled on the way up. 29.6 on the clock. And Grandy to shoot a pair.
That'll go against Kovalsic underneath, who got a hand on Grandy. How important are free throws in this one?
Grandy with 8 points, all in the second half. And helping lead Westminster back. Westminster trailed by as much as 11. That was in the first half, 34-23. Westminster cut that lead by halftime to just 4. Have tied the game 3 separate times. Westminster had a brief lead at 63-61, but Chatham, again for the majority of this contest, has been in front. And leading right now by 2, make it 1. In double digits is Grandy. Near turnover by Chatham. And trying to avoid disaster, Coach Sandy Rechtenwald calls a timeout. 28.8 to play. We'll be back in a moment on the PAC Sports Network.
When you're seriously in debt, you know that feeling. It returns every time the phone rings. Things are out of control. A job you were counting on didn't come through, or you got sick. No matter how it got to this point, your creditors don't care or understand, but I do. It's not too late. I can help. If you're embarrassed, overwhelmed, or frustrated, don't be. I'm not here to judge, I'm here to help, and you do need help. Please call me. There is a way out, and I'll get you there.
When you are in need of fast, affordable, and professional voiceovers, contact TimeAd Productions. TimeAd Productions offers voice services for business presentations, documentary narrations, radio, television, imaging, and commercials, movie trailers, corporate phone systems, websites, audiobooks, and more. Visit or contact us online at www.timadproductions.com.
As you see, free throws crucial in the second half, and a pair of big free throws connected on by Jenna Grandy moments ago. It's a one-point game currently. Chatham trying to break the press and doing so successfully in the forecourt. Shot clock is off. Chatham does not want to shoot it anyway, as Rachel McLean is fouled by the Titans.
Well, I like that play by Westminster there. Try to get the steal in the backcourt. Don't foul right away, but when Chatham broke free, then you bring on the foul.
20.9. McLean hits the first. Rachel McLean with 19. And of all of her three-point shooting prowess, just one three-pointer tonight, but hits two important free throws. Now has 20 points this evening. Three-point game, Westminster with the basketball. 15 to play. And a blocking foul on Chatham. It's Manfredi who disagrees. Manfredi, the 5'6" sophomore out of Jefferson Hills, PA, and Sarah Catholic High School. Rachel Durbin at the line, misses a first free throw. Well, there are several players out of Sarah Catholic in this game. Megan Sieg, Manfredi. And right now with 12.8 to go, Durbin hits on the second. 2-point game, inbounds pass, good for Sieg. Sieg splits the defense, it is fouled.
Very elusive there by Sieg, and she buys just a couple of extra seconds there. Splits the defense, then gets up there and just gets 3 or 4 more seconds off the clock before she draws the foul.
Megan Sieg with 15, 70-67. Of Sieg's 15 points, 9, my apologies, have come here in the second half.
Making this right here would make it a 2-possession ball game with just 7 seconds left. Probably the biggest free throw of the night.
And it's the freshman. Misses, rebound. Westminster, 5 seconds to go. Grandy for 3. No good. Rebound, 1 second. Durbin throws it up and off the rim, no good. Westminster 2 shots before the final buzzer, but Chatham hangs on by the Cougars' collective teeth. 70-67, the Cougars with their first PAC victory of the season and improved to 3-4 overall. Westminster will remain winless, 0-4 overall, and 0-1 now in PAC play as the Chatham Cougars jubilant with the home victory. They came so close last year against Westminster. This time the Cougars finished the job. Stay tuned. When we come back, we'll hand out our Foster's Law Office's Player of the Game on the PAC Sports Network.
Tri-County Patriots for Independent Living is raising funds for renovation and new construction of the YWCA building on West Maiden Street in Washington. Triple is a membership organization of people with disabilities and their families, friends, and neighbors. Triple's vision is to embrace the Y's historic, uplifting character while creating a state-of-the-art, fully accessible community center. We are accepting various types of donations for the rehabilitation of the Y. Visit ywca.triple.com or call 724-223-5115 for more information.
When you're seriously in debt, you know that feeling. It returns every time the phone rings. Things are out of control. A job you were counting on didn't come through, or you got sick. No matter how it got to this point, your creditors don't care or understand, but I do. It's not too late. I can help. If you're embarrassed, overwhelmed, or frustrated, don't be. I'm not here to judge. I'm here to help, and you do need help. please call me. There is a way out, and I'll get you there.
When you are in need of fast, affordable, and professional voiceovers, contact TimeAd Productions. TimeAd Productions offers voice services for business presentations, documentary narrations, radio, television, imaging, and commercials, movie trailers, corporate phone systems, websites, audiobooks, and more. Visit or contact us online at www.timeadproductions.com.
The Chatham Cougars hang on for a 70-67 victory tonight. And, well, it was nip and tuck down the stretch. Westminster had tied the game 3 separate times in the second half at 34-34. Also, keep in mind, Westminster was down 34-23 late in the first half, so down by 11, tied it at 34 up in the second half, then fell behind again, tied at 45 up in the second half, fell behind again, tied at 59 all, eventually then tied it once more, actually, 61-61, then to take a 2-point lead at 63-61. We would have tie scores, lead changes, but Chatham led throughout the vast majority of the contest, and they claimed the win in the end. And we're just talking in between the commercial break here that, you know, this is a different Chatham team. You could see it tonight. You kind of got the sense that this would be a more competitive Chatham group this season, one that Coach Sandy Rechtenwald had said with the upperclassmen speaking her language in terms of the recruiting class that she brought in particular the juniors, Rachel McLean, Anna Shashura, Chelsea Kobelsick, and they get the job done in the end, and an impressive win for the Chatham Cougars here tonight.
Yeah, you have to be happy for Chatham, too, matching their win total from last season already now tonight. And just a gritty team, a fast team. Still a lot of things to improve on. It's early in the season, but a little bit better passing, better shooting. You know, that's just a fantastic win for Chatham, and you have to be happy. And when you look at the other side of the ball for Westminster, definitely going to be a rebuilding year for the Titans. Losing Courtney Zitt, Gabby Holko from last year, a playoff team a year ago, now losing to Chatham, starting the season out 0-4. The Titans have a lot to work on.
And some individual totals. Rachel McLean, 20 points, the game-high score. Megan Sieg, the 5'10 freshman, with 15 points. Double-digit scores for the Westminster Titans. Unofficially, Christine Fromneck with 10, Allison Bortz with a dozen, Jenna Grandy with 10, all 10 of hers in the second half, and we'll talk a little bit of some of the positives out of the Titans. And also Allison Bortz, additionally, of her dozen, 10 of those coming in the second half. When it came down to crunch time, the two seniors, Allison Bortz and Jenna Grandy, certainly stepped up.
Yeah, and that's the way it should be. You want your older players, your more experienced players, your leaders to step in and play their role, and they really did tonight. To strong play from Bortz. Really impressed with what she can do underneath. Younger teams, but you need that one or two veteran to come in and show you how it's done, and Bortz it did tonight.
Well, time to hand out our Foster Law Office's Player of the Game, as we do each and every game on the PAC Sports Network. And well, we mentioned that the game-high score was Rachel McLean, but we're not going to go in her direction. And as outstanding as she has been in her Chatham career, and as she was tonight, as she got into foul trouble, was actually off the floor for quite a bit during the last 10-minute stretch because of that foul trouble, and stepping up in the end and making several crucial free throws down the stretch. Megan Sieg, the freshman, finishing with 15 points. She is our Foster Law Office's Player of the Game.
Yeah, I don't think you can deny that there, even though McLean did really well tonight scoring. Sieg, just another one of those impressive freshmen on both of these squads. And Sieg played well defensively, but the clutch free throws there at the end, making them and solidifying the win for Chatham was just so important, and Sieg got the job done.
So again, Westminster with the defeat falls to 0-4 overall, 0-1 in conference play. Chatham with the victory, 3-4 overall, as Nate talked about, already matching last year's win total. So job well done for the Chatham Cougars to this point, and I'm sure Sandy Rechtenwald would like to see more victories in store for her Cougars along the way. Cougars 3-4 overall, 1-1 now in the conference. So that'll do it. Any parting thoughts, Nate Rigotti?
Well, just on Saturday, we'll be back on the air as Grove City travels to Waynesburg. Next up for these two teams, Chatham hosting W&J here at 2 o'clock. And then on Saturday, Westminster travels to Thomas More the Bull with a win again tonight. That's a 1 o'clock tip.
Yeah, tough draw for Westminster, especially falling here tonight. Then you got to go up against the 8-time defending champions. So rough early schedule for the Titans as it turns out. But that'll do it here from the PAC Sports Network. Chatham with the victory, 70-67 over the Westminster Titans. We hope you enjoyed it. For my partner Nate Rigotti, our producer David Keeling, and our cameraman John DeBruzzo, I'm Randy Gore. We'll talk to you again on Saturday from Waynesburg on the PAC Sports Network.